Okay, so today we'll start the design of clutches and brakes. So here in this unit, the design of clutches will carry 10 marks and the design of brakes will carry the 10 marks. So it is question having two sub questions A and B. So A question 8 marks, B question 10 marks and 10 marks. Okay. So first to start with what the design of clutches. So you know where the clutch has been used. So when you riding a vehicle, whether it is a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, so you want to change the speed of the vehicle. Either you can increase the speed or you can decrease the speed. So you know that you can increase or decrease the speed of the vehicle by means of gears. How the gears will work by means of clutches. So by means of clutches, we take a second gear, third gear, or maybe fourth gear. So when you want to ride on a higher speed, we'll go for a higher gears, fourth gear, and when you go for fifth gear also, and when you go for lower speeds, you come for what so second gear or a third gear. So like this, the engagement of gears is done by what by using the clutches. So in vehicle, whether it is a two-wheeler or four-wheeler, the driving shaft always rotates with a constant speed, and the driven shaft has the gears with different sizes. So smaller gear run at a high speed, medium gear size run at a medium speed, and large sized gear will run at a slower speed. So depend upon the gear arrangement, so clutch is used to order to engage the driven shaft to the driving shaft. So if you want the higher speed of the vehicle, so the smaller size gear of the driving shaft driven shaft engage the driving shaft. If you want the lower speed of the vehicle, so during the clutch, using the clutch, what you do, you change the gear, so that time the larger sized gear engage with the driving shaft gear. So that way we can reduce the speed of the vehicle. So that means what you need to understand here, the driving shaft always rotates at a constant speed. The driven shaft have multiple gears with different sizes. Smaller size gear will have larger speed as per the speed ratio, and the larger gears will have the smaller speed. So here in clutches, in design of clutches we have different types of clutches are there, but for our syllabus we are going to study only the friction type of clutch. So in friction type of clutch, the the driving shaft and driven shaft engages by means of a friction type of clutches. So here again in friction type clutch we have different types. The first one is a single plate clutch, second one is a multi-plate clutch, third one is a cone clutch, and centrifugal clutch. Again in this we are going to study only single plate clutch and multi-plate clutch. So in single plate clutch, what you can have, you have two flanges, so two circular flanges. So one flange is attached to the driving shaft, the second flange is attached to the driven shaft. The driven shaft flange connect to the driving shaft by means of a spring force. Okay, so during this the frictional force, there is a friction between the driving and driven flanges, and the torque is transmitted. So this single plate clutch generally used for larger vehicles such as four-wheeler, trucks, buses, where the space required is more. In case of multi-plate clutch, we are going to use in scooters because it requires less space. So we're going to use what less space. So that's why we're going to use it is in scooters, bikes, like that. Okay. So now we'll see what are the notations used for the single plate clutch or in general clutch plate. So then we'll go for problems. So as I said, the plate clutch is what it is, a circular disc, okay, having the inner diameter as well as the outer diameter. So it is nothing but what it is, a hollow circular disc. So you can see here what are the terms we use in the design of the disc or plate clutch. So mt is what the torque transmitted by the friction. So when the driving and driven shaft come together, so there will be friction. So because of that friction, the torque will be transmitted. So that is called as what a MT. Fa is what? Axial force. What is axial force? The spring force. So we have the driving shaft is rotating constantly. So what we will do? The driven when you engage the clutch, engage the gears by means of clutch, the driven shaft is moved near to the driving shaft. So that means by so that movement is by what? The spring force that is called as the axial force Fa. Then mu equal to coefficient of friction, P equal to normal pressure between the surfaces when they get engaged, the pressure between the surfaces, R1 inner radius of friction surface, R2 outer radius of friction surface, D1 inner diameter, D2 outer diameter of friction surface, Rm mean radius of friction surface, Dm mean diameter of friction surface, N the power transmitted in kilowatt, N speed of the shaft RPM, D is the diameter of the shaft, theta you can say kVA factor, I equal to number of active surfaces, that's equal to I1 plus I2 by minus 1. I1 is the number of driving disc, means number of plates on a driving shaft. I2 number of driven disc, number of plates on a driven shaft. Okay, so these are notations we're going to use in the design of clutches. Now we'll take what is the design procedure. So these are the parameters we're going to determine. So he will give the problem. So sometime we need to determine the torque transmitted, axial force required. Then we need to determine D1, D2, DM or I1, I2. So these are the parameters design specifications we have to determine in the problem. So we'll see first what is the design procedure for a clutch plate. So the design of clutch plate is based on two theories. One is the uniform pressure theory and second one is the uniform wear theory. In the uniform pressure theory, what you assume the pressure is constant or uniform throughout the clutch plate. In the uniform wear theory, what you assume the wear rate, the rate of wear is the same throughout the clutch plate. So there are two theories based on the clutch plate has been designed. So unless until he mentioned, we need to always assume wear theory for the calculation. If he has given, it's okay. Maybe sometimes you give pressure uniform theory, you have to use those equations regarding the pressure. In case he mentioned wear theory, use equations related to the wear theory. In case he is not mentioned any theory, then by default you have to assume a wear theory for a calculation of a clutch plate. Okay, so now we see the design procedure. So next we'll go for a one or two problems. Now you see the design procedure. So what are the parameters going to calculate here? One is the torque transmitted, first parameter. So mt equals to 9550 1000 into n by n. So capital N is the power, small n is the speed. You can see if this can take from equation 19.3c. Then the diameter of the shaft, small d equal to square root of 16 mt divided by pi ts tau s, that is a cs to s, n is a QA factor, so you can take it from 19.49. Then mean diameter, again as I said, if you're applying uniform pressure theory from equation 19.858, so pressure is what mean diameter is what dm equal to 2 by 3 into bracket d2 cube minus d1 cube divided by d2 square minus d1 square, if it is uniform pressure theory. If it is uniform wear theory, then it is given by the equation 19.85b. So that is dm equal to what? d2 plus d1 by 2 or d1 plus d2 by 2. This is the third parameter. Next we'll go for the fourth parameter, that is a axial force. So if it is a uniform pressure condition, so it is taken from the equation 19.86b. What is that? Fa equal to pi p into bracket d2 square minus d1 square divided by 4. Next, if you are using uniform wear condition, then Fa equal to 1 by 2 pi p d1 into bracket d2 minus d1 from the equation 19.83. So then what are the parameters or dimensions of the clutch? Well, we can use one more torque equation 19.84, that is what a torque transfer MT equal to 1 by 2 mu FA dm into I. So if you refer to the book, so there is a misprint, I is not printed. You can just check it in the data handbook. So mu is a coefficient of friction, Fa is a axial force, dm is a mean diameter, I equals to number of active plates. Okay, so d1 inner diameter, d2 outer diameter, dm equal to mean diameter, axial force is a Fa. So these are the parameters we're going to calculate in the problem. So remember, either I can use uniform air theory or you can use a uniform pressure theory based on the condition given. If there is no condition given, assume a uniform air theory and use these equations to calculate the parameters. Okay, we'll take the first problem. Just read this problem. What it says, a car engine develops maximum power of 15 kilowatt at 1000 rpm. So a capital N is given 15 kilowatt, small n 1000 rpm. The clutch used is a single plate. So it is a single plate type of both sides active or effective, having external diameter 1.2 times internal diameter. So what it says here, clutch plate is what a single plate type and both sides active means both means what a 2. So I equal to what here 2, having external diameter d2 equals to 1.2 times d1. So d2 equal to 1.25 d1 and mu equals to 0.3. Maximum axial pressure Fa is not to be maximum axial pressure not to be exceed 0.085 Newton per mm square. That is a P value. He has given a P value. Determine the dimensions of the friction surface and force necessary to engage the plates. Assume uniform pressure distribution. So he has given the condition here. Assume uniform pressure condition. That means we have to use only those equations related to the uniform pressure. So what he is asking here, he given the conditions. He is asking to determine d1, d2, dm. Okay, all the parameters Fa. Okay, so next what we're going to determine here, first we'll determine the torque transmitted. So mt equal to 9550 1000 into capital N by small n. So substitute here, we get a 14,000 1,43,250 Newton mm. Okay, next second parameter, mean diameter. So for uniform pressure condition, dm equal to 2 by 3 into bracket d2 cube minus d1 cube divided by d2 cube minus d1 square. So substitute value you get, because you know only the relation here, d2 equals to 1.25 d1. So substitute that relation. So you'll get dm equal to 1.13 d1. Then we'll go for axial force. For uniform pressure condition, Fa equal to pi p into bracket d2 square minus d1 square divided by 4. So substitute those. So we'll get relation again 0.037552 d1 square. So now to determine the dimensions, so we have one more torque equation, mt equal to 1 by 2 mu Fa dm into I. So now you substitute all the equations here. Torque already found using that equation, mt equal to 9550 into n by n. So I mt already know, that is 143,250. 1 by 2 mu is given 0.3. Fa in terms of d1, so 0.037552 d1 square into dm 1.13 d1 into 2. I is what a 2. So as you said, both sides are effective. Both means what a 2. So you get a quadratic equation. So solve that, you go to get a inner diameter d1 equal to 224 mm. So once you got 224 as d1, you know d2 is what a 1.2 times of a d1. So you'll get d2 280 mm. Mean diameter, just substitute in the equations. you'll get 253. Just earlier equation dm 253 mm, you'll get axial force. Again you substitute all these values in the corresponding equations, you'll get FA 1884.21 Newton. So like this you have to determine all the parameters of the clutch plate. Okay, so similarly we take the second problem. Design a single plate clutch consists of two pairs of contacting surfaces for a torque capacity. So what is given here? Single plate clutch consists two pairs. So again he said 2, so I equal to how much here? 2. Two pairs of contacting surfaces, torque capacity 200 Newton meter. So is given the torque. Then due to space limitations, outside diameter of the clutch is to be 250 mm. So D2 you have to take how much is given? 250 mm. So is given empty 200 Newton meter, D2 250 mm. I, since two surfaces are actor, so I equal to 2. So he don't given D1, how to determine remaining factor dm, pressure, P, FA, axial force, we have to determine. Okay, now the main one of the parameters he has not given, that is what? The friction coefficient mu and the pressure. So in such kind of problems, when these two parameters, pressure and mu, is not given, then what you need to do, you have to assume the friction material as a leather, and refer the table 19.7. For leather, friction coefficient is in the range of 0.3 to 0.5, and the pressure P is in the range of 0.0686 to 0.2746 MPa. So you select in between these two range. So what they have selected, mu equal to 0.4, so that lies between 0.3 to 0.5, P equal to 0.135. You can select any other value, no problem, it's not an issue. You can select the value in this range. So he has taken P equal to 0.135 Newton mm square. Now torque is given, first parameter mt. Next mean diameter dm equal to 1 by 2, d2 plus d1 equals to 1 by 2, d2 you know 250 plus d1 keep as it is. So as he mentioned, no theory to be assumed, so we'll assume always, as I said, no theory is given, that time inform wear theory should be assumed. So for inform wear theory, axial force Fa equal to 1 by 2 pi p d1 into bracket d2 minus d1. So substitute the values here. 1 by 2 pi, p is 0.135, what you have taken from the range, d1 as it is d2 250 minus d1, so you get 0.212 d1 into bracket 250 minus d1. Then the torque transmitted equation, it is a common, mt equal to 1 by 2 mu Fa dm into I. So mt already you know, 1 by 2 mu we have taken as a 0.4, dm already know the relation, I equal to 2, substitute that, you will get a quadratic equation. You can see here 62500 d1 minus d1 cube 4716981.132. so after solving this, you'll get the d1 value. So what is the d1 value? 80 by trial and error, d1 equal to 85.46. Take next number, that is 86 mm. So once you know d1, so then determine d2. d2 already given, sorry, d2 only determined, d1 we determined. Then you can go for what? Mean diameter, using substituting the d1 d2 in the previous equation. You will get a dm mean diameter 168 mm, axial force, substitute that, you will get 2990 Newton. So like this you have to calculate the design of the clutches. So just go through these problems, and any doubts just call me or message me. Also take the data notebook, cross verify the equations and solve physically, then you'll be able to understand the completely the problems on the clutches. Okay, in the next class again we'll see some more problems on the clutches. Thank you.